Every death is a wake-up call to live life more presently, more fully, and more completely. Oprah Winfrey made this statement a few weeks ago on one of her final shows, and it really touched my heart because that is how I live my life. What I do is I help people connect to their past loved ones, as well as to their angels. Hi, my name is Lisa Jones, and I live in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and I'm interested in doing a Hay House radio show or even an online event. Now, let me tell you how I got started into this amazing energy field of channeling angels that I'm in. Actually, it was the most difficult experience of my life that led me to helping people connect to their past loved ones. My husband, Ian Sharp, in 1997 was diagnosed with lymphatic cancer. He underwent some horrific treatments that first year. He did some chemotherapy, radiation, and a stem cell transplant. It brought him close to death, but it did save his life, and he lived for 4 more years in remission. But unfortunately, in that 5th year, the cancer came back, and intuitively I knew it wasn't going to end well. At that point, a very dear friend of mine took me for an angel reading. I didn't know what an angel reading was. I had never heard of one. And at that time, I was a very religious person. I went to church every Sunday, and that was kind of where I was at that time in my life. So I went, and I have to tell you that having that angel reading completely opened my heart to this new idea that there's so much out there that we don't understand and that we can connect to if we just take the time to learn how to do it. So I bought a book and figured out how I could connect with my angels, and I did that on a daily basis. My husband underwent 2 more years of intensive treatment, including our insurance company insisting that we had to fly to Seattle from our home in Connecticut and take our 2 children, who were at that time 7 and 9, and live in a hotel for almost 9 months. Unfortunately, even with 2 more stem cell transplants and more chemo and radiation, he still didn't get any better. They sent us back home, and in February of 2004, he really took a downturn, and his doctor told him that there was nothing more that could be done. So we called in hospice, and that night they said, oh, he actually looks pretty good, and it could be 4 to 6 weeks before he dies. And I couldn't believe it. He was so frail, I couldn't see how he was going to hold on. So that night I prayed to my angels, and I just said, please give Ian comfort. He is just so broken, he's so sad, and he really needs a break here. The next thing I knew, I woke up and I was in heaven. I couldn't believe it. I mean, this is as close to heaven as anything I have ever seen, and I don't know if it was a dream or if I was really there. But let me tell you, the buildings were gold. There was not a speck of dust. There were angels flying around. There was scurrying, and they were getting busy for a big party. There were balloons and banners and streamers, and then a huge loudspeaker. The Grand Mr. Ian Sharp is about to arrive. And I felt like I was a fly on the wall up in heaven while they were preparing for his arrival. The next thing I saw were 2 giant doors beginning to open. And I thought at that moment I'd see Ian step through, but instead I heard a knock on the door. And it was his brother who came rushing into my room and said, oh my God, Lisa, Ian just passed away. Well, I woke up and I was in my daughter's bed, and I didn't know where I was for a moment. I was so discombobulated about being in this beautiful place and then suddenly being awoken to be told that my husband had just passed. So all I can say, though, is that seeing that vision and knowing that that's where he went, it just gave me such comfort and such relief. So then the next morning I had to go and tell our children, because they had spent the night at my mother-in-law's house. And I was so concerned about telling them because they didn't really get that opportunity to say goodbye to their dad. And so as I was blow drying my hair, suddenly Ian's voice was right in my ear, and he said, oh my God, Lisa, I love you, but it's so awesome here. And it just totally, again, confirmed that I knew he was safe and that he was being cared for and that he was completely better and not sick anymore. And that just gave me such great comfort. So now, that's what I do, is I help provide comfort for others that maybe didn't get that opportunity when their loved one passed. And I also share angelic messages, and it's non-denominational. It doesn't matter what religion, if any, you are. The angels come through with just this amazing information. And I love sharing with people. I've never been more fulfilled in my entire life. In fact, I quit my accounting job a year ago so I could do this full time. So anyway, my name is Lisa Jones, and I channel people's past loved ones and angels. And I just ask that you take a look at your life and see if you're making the most of it, because life is short and you never know when you're going to have the end of yours. Blessings to you.